Radical Muslim cleric Sheikh Abubaker Shariff Ahmed fears for his life. Over the past 2 years, 2 of his close associates have been gunned down by unidentified masked assailants here in Kenya's port city of Mombasa. He says he could be the next casualty in what he sees as a conflict between the government and growing radicalism on the country's coast.
We are now having turmoil in Kenya. It's not the Muslims who are creating this. It's not the youth who they call radicals who are creating this. It's their governments. They're seeing their leaders being killed extrajudicially. I mean, how would you expect them not to fight back? They only miss weapons. If they had weapons, we would have civil war in Kenya right now, today.
But while Sheikh Shariff, better known as Makaburi, which means graveyard in Swahili, says he is under attack, others see it differently. The United Nations alleges the cleric is a leading recruiter of young Muslims for the Al-Shabaab insurgency in neighboring Somalia. With pressure mounting on the government to tackle militants blamed for a spate of attacks, including last year's bloodbath at Nairobi's Westgate shopping mall, police recently raided the mosque and arrested more than 100 young men. But one moderate cleric says taking aim at Musa Mosque will do little to resolve many of the underlying problems. Chronic unemployment, poverty, and political marginalization leave Kenya's Muslim youth vulnerable to radical preaching.
They normally say that give us your children, we shall employ them to preach religion. And if they have money, they normally give 40,000 to the family, or more than that, or less than that. They take the youth to their mosque, they brainwash him.
Breaking up Islamic militant networks operating on its soil has become a priority for the Kenyan government. It says the brazen Westgate attack that left at least 67 dead, as well as other smaller deadly attacks across the country, has made it urgent to act. But heavy-handed tactics and allegations of extrajudicial killings are fueling further resentment.
Anything in excess of the Constitution, extra-constitutional or extra-legal means, will continue to feed into the narrative about government oppression and humiliation of the particularly Muslim or coastal communities.
Critics warn that if the government continues to tackle radical Islam with brute force, rather than engaging with its Muslim population, the cure may turn out to be worse than the sickness itself.